Hi guys, back with another video. So we're headed off to Walmart. We got to pick up a couple things to start this for today. So I know some of you guys do some waterfowl hunting from a layout blind. So what we're going to do, we're going to make our own, I guess you'd call it camouflage covering. It's like a grass we'll be using to put on the blind to brush it in. So let's get our supplies. Alright, so we got our stuff. I think the first thing we need to do is put some gloves on. So I'd advise if you try doing this, you're going to want gloves. Otherwise, you're going to have some stained hands for a little while. We're going to make a mess here. I'll pick it up later. Got a little bit of a breeze, so I hope it doesn't blow stuff around too much. We're outside. We got a little bit of, like I said, we got a little bit of breeze. We're going to have some background noises. So we're going to attempt this video anyway. Got another camera here so I can show what I'm doing. Alright. They recommend on the bottle of dye that you start with some hot water. So I didn't boil anything. I just got it out of the tap. It's hot. And I don't believe it even tells you how much water to put in. It does recommend that you use vinegar and salt for certain kinds of material like wool or cotton or something. We're not going to use any of that. That other batch I made, here comes a jet flying over. It's hard to do these videos sometimes. You get every distraction you could think of. You try to do it in one take. Sometimes it doesn't work out too well. So anyways, got about a gallon of water in here. Now, I learned from the past doing this. I tried to mix the green and yellow. I had a hard time getting the right shade. So what I found the best thing to do was to add the green in one batch, you know, dye it green, and then use the yellow after it dried to get a different, you know, to brighten it up a little bit. That's going to be hard to do with gloves on. Solve that. You ever have them days where nothing goes right? Right, we're just dumping the whole bottle in. I don't know what that does. So we're really not going by instructions here, in case you didn't notice that. I'm not sure what the reason is for the hot water. I don't know if that's to help it to dissolve the dye quicker or what. I'm not really sure. Alright. So we got 4 bags of this raffia grass. I'm not sure how many I'm going to actually dye. It comes in pretty long lengths. So we got scissors here to cut it up and make it more, you know, the size that we're going to be using. Like I said, we're going to have garbage here we'll pick up later. Silicone. Alright, this is what they give you. It's like what is that, about 2.5, 3 feet long. So we're going to cut that in maybe, we're going to actually be folding this in half kind of when we use it. So we're going to cut it maybe a foot long. I'm just going to put it right in the green. I'm going to just cut this one in half. So basically we cut that in thirds. Now you could get this same grass at Michael's craft store. It's actually, it comes in bigger bundles. I'm not sure if the length is any bigger, any longer, but you get a lot more in the bag and pay a little bit more for it. Remove this out of the way so we didn't get a lot of green dripped in it. So basically, we're just going to put it in this bath. We're going to basically just roll it around in there. And you'll slowly see it starting to get a green color to it. Now, being it's a nice day today, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lay this stuff in the sun, let it dry out a little bit before we stick it into the yellow. You can see what it's looking like already. It's already starting to look a little bit like, like grass. Now this is the dark green color. In my opinion, it's a little bit too dark. That's just my opinion. But I guess it depends on the kind of field you're hunting, probably the time of year. I'm sure the grass slightly changes color then. So as you can see, that's green already. We haven't even let it in there very long. It's probably because I dumped the whole bottle of dye in there. Alright. Doesn't look too bad. Has a little bit of, we'll soak it just a few more seconds. Getting this stuff splattered on me already. Alright, try to get a lot, wring that out. What we're going to do, we're going to go spread this out in the sun, let it dry a little bit. Get it all. Alright, let's get this in the sun. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do, we're actually going to camouflage some of these clothespins. That way they don't stand out, they'll be camoed as well. So we're just going to throw some of these in the green dye. I don't think these take very long. Not sure how many we'll use. Going to switch them around a little bit. Alright, so we got Alright, so we got the green done. I got one of the bundles. It's not completely dry. That's okay. Now we're gonna soak it into the yellow dye. What we're trying to do, we're trying to get it just to lighten up a little bit and look more natural compared to the, natural grass. So what you got to do is just put it in there. Now lift it out and keep looking at it and look at the grass that's right beside you. Does it look close? Does it look natural? That's all you want. You just want it to look similar to what looks like real. And that looks pretty close right there already. So it doesn't take long until it starts to look like natural grass. It doesn't take long at all in that yellow. We're going to pull this stuff out and we'll get another batch. See how that lightens it up a little bit? It looks a lot more natural with just that little bit of yellow mixed in it. Another batch here. Put it in. Just keep looking at it. Just keep slopping it around in there. Pull it up, look at it, compare it to the grass beside you. So what we're going to do here, while we're waiting for everything to dry, what you can do is you could actually save this dye. I'm not sure what kind of shelf life it has, but rather than go buy a new bottle every time, you just put it in a jug and save it. Alright, so we got the grass here, the raffia grass. It's dyed, but it's not quite dry yet, but we're going to go ahead and bundle some of these up. So what we got are some small black zip ties, some clothespins that we dyed green, What we're going to do, we're going to get a couple clumps of this stuff. We're going to zip tie it to the clothespin. Now the reason we're doing that, I mean, you could use this stuff, you could tie it onto your blind like you do with natural vegetation, but that makes it more difficult when you're hunting in different terrain. Maybe you're going to move from a cornfield, you know, from grass to the cornfield, and it kind of makes it hard because you got to untie all that stuff and get it off your blind. So that's where these zip ties and clothespins come in handy, because you don't have to, you know, you don't have to untie it. You just unclip it, you know, and you can put on other material. So we're gonna get one of these put together here. Now you can clip these bunches onto your blinds. We're going to go through, we're going to make up a bunch of these. We'll give them a chance to dry again. We'll just throw them back out in the sun once they're all clipped onto clothespins. There it is. Now I have to admit, I added some grass from before. I made another big batch of it earlier, so I added that with the stuff I made today. So I mean, this is with no natural vegetation. Only what you do is just put this stuff on, and then you put the natural vegetation to enhance it. I mean, this is with nothing other than I'm laying on a lawn. This is what it looks like. It looks pretty good. The color's pretty close. I'm happy with it. I mean, like I said, if you're going to add natural vegetation, you fill in even more gaps, you blend in pretty good. But pretty easy to make, pretty cheap to make. Or you could just buy it already made from Avery. I think it's pretty good stuff. So that'll be it for the video. I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.